Hi. In previous video, we created some external location in order to write our data, which we have performed some operations. Here you can see some transformation have been performed over the given data set. So all five transformation has been done and we want to show all external locations, but we do not have respective external location here. So what I'll do, I'll just create an external location which was requiring for some URL and some storage credentials. So I'm going to select that credential which we have created there. Okay, so this is using this connector ID which we used through this access connector ID and assign some IAM role to our data storage. Now before this I need to create one meta store also. So I'm going to create meta store, name it meta store underscore dev underscore 2025 and select the same region. You can create only one meta store in single region. You might have encountered some error because you might be initiating more than one meta store in single region. You need to check whether any existing meta store is there in your workspace. If there, delete it first and then come back here to create a fresh one. Now I'm going to create our meta store in the same region where we have all the instances from the resource group. Now this is asking ADLS Gen 2 path. So the same container name and everything. What I'll do, I'll go back here and going to copy this path and paste it here. So I'm not going to paste it here so that I'll have same skeleton of this path, same infrastructure of this path. So what I'll do, I'll write container name. So container name is a sample here. I'm going to write storage name. Storage name is storage dev 2025. That's correct. What's the different things? df.core.windows.net. Yes, that's also correct. So I'm going to copy this path here and going to paste it here. Okay. So what's the next access connector ID? Yes, go back here and here is the access connector ID. I'm going to copy this resource ID and going to paste it here. And let's create, if it is a line, so it will be showing all green checks, read, write and everything there for the particular gen storage. This is our workspace and I'm going to assign this workspace as well as any new workspace in the East US will be assigned to this. Enable auto assignment. Yes, we can assign this enable. I'm going to assign enable it. Okay, that's it. You have assigned this workspace. Go back here. You can check this workspace is now assigned here. Okay, now come to your catalog. Come to your catalog in the main part, go to the setting, refresh this part and check for this catalog name. Here we have, and if I go back here in the setting option, if you click on this and after some time it will be showing your catalog name. So if it is not showing here, it waits for the stability here. You will find your catalog name here. I'm going to refresh it again. And check my setting. Meanwhile, our catalog is going to establish. We can create this external storage. So we have created this external storage, this previous video, we provided the URL and let's create now. You can use this connector ID and let's create. For these external data, we have credentials which we created right now. I'm going to create this credentials. I'm going to use this credential as the permission here. You will have to grant this permission. Okay, but we do not have any credentials here, so I'm going to create here external locations credentials. So create credential here. So this is manage entity credential name. So this would be credential name here, credential name it as credential 2025, paste that credential ID. So go back here, copy this credential ID. We have, yes, credential ID. This is comment, and let's create. Can you see? Go for permission. You want to assign this grant permission. Click on this permission, select your username. This username would be here, and assign allow privilege and manage everything. So I'm going to create external location, create external table, read file, and everything. Let's grant. Once you have this credential 2025, you can select into your credential storage account. Go back here. Can you see credential 2025 is there? And next we have this dev external location. Location is ADLS Gen 2. This is ABFS, your sample path, and let's create it here. Generally, this error is encountered when you have same metastore root location and same path here. So what you'll do, you will have to create another path here. So I'm going to click on this storage account. Inside this storage account, let's close it. And here we have another directory as well, or another. I need to create another container. So I'm inside this container, add a new container here. I'm going to assign test, and let's create it here. Once you have test container, you can change name of this container here. This is external location, and you can go back here and replace this sample, because this is the same part as the metastore we have. So I'm going to assign this create option. So this is not showing any error, or you can encounter that option also. You can test connection whether we have all the authority and all the permission here. So here we have read, list, write, delete, path exist, hierarchy namespace, everything is showing green. That's good. We can go ahead and we can write our data set there. Now I'm going to write into my path here and running this external location code again. You can see previously we had only 2. Now we have dev external location 2025, which is having just test data. We can write our data here. Now go back here where we have all the portions, and we can paste our data set there. Okay. If you want to describe the relevant part, so what you will do, you will write %SQL, hit enter, describe, and then external location. What's the name of the location? Go back here and just double click on it, Ctrl C, and write this name with quotes, and make sure this is not the code, this is just something else. You can see nearby at left top, you will find in your keyboard, this is that symbol which is beside one integer number. So I'm going to paste this name here and just writing my external location. Can you see this is having this address location, this is name, credential name, this is using this owner, and this is created by this one and created at this time as well. Now I'm going to write this updated data where we had updated data as well. In order to write my data set, data frame into external location, I'll have to write my data frame name, which is final data frame. The name is df underscore updated. Now I'm having mode, I'm having write. I need to write my data set with this mode. So I'm going to write with this mode, and with this mode I'm going to select overwrite. Why overwrite? If you will select this overwrite, it will delete all older data set, older rows, and will create a fresh rows and data set. If you will select overwrite or something append, so it will add new data set in a bottom fashion or updated fashion. So I'm going to write overwrite here, then select some other options For example, I need header is equal to true. So that header would be there, and then it is going to select from CSV file. So, but this CSV is something else. This is not my local system. This is something, this location where we have our data set. So I'm going to select this URL, going to replace this address, which is our external location. So I'm going to paste it here. This would be imported in our URL, and inside this, if you want to add something else, for example, if you want to add inside this test, I'm going to add a directory raw1. So you can save it here, and you can write that directory name as well. So after this slash, you can write raw1, and let's check this name again. Here we have this core name and this value, and you can write this data set. Let's slash again. Let's run. Yes, it has written our data set properly, successfully. It's showing all the jobs here. And once you want to read this data set, so what I'll do, I am going to read this all CSV from all the external data set. So this is my step number 1. So this would be new df, and going to use my Spark code using spark.read dot option. Inside this option, I'm going to write header is equal to true, and the CSV is the same file where we have. So I'm going to read all my CSV file from this raw1 folder. Let's run, and going to repartition this data set. If you go back here, for example, I'm going to show my raw1. Here you can see so many partitions are there. So generally, whenever Spark is going to write any data in CSV format, it write our data in different portion, in different part. So what I'll do, I'll combine all these partitions and display this data in a single shot. So for this, what I'll do, I'm going to perform step number 2, where I'll repartition into single partition in order to create a single file output. So I'm going to use df underscore single file is equal to df underscore colons. So colons is used to repartition our data into single partition. Whenever you are writing a new location in a third step, I'm going to write in a new location into a single file, it will be overwritten. So I'm going to write this existing data here. So this would be write mode override option, and this would be our customer churn, but that's not the address here. That's the correct address. I'm going to write this one inside this. Let's copy this whole address, but C, and let's replace this address, but V. Okay, so now I'm going to write this one here. For example, I'm going to inside this test, I'm going to create another folder. So let's create another directory. This directory name is, for example, raw underscore new. Let's save it. Why I'm doing this? Because I want to write in a single part. So instead of raw1, I'll write raw underscore new. Okay, and then give slash here. It's gonna write to a different directory. Let's run this file. I'm going to define the column name here. So let's perform some more operations. If you want to read this file, so just write df underscore single file, and just go home, display this one, go to and just run this code. Can you see this is showing all my display part, and you can see this is showing all my respective rows, and it is also having so many different rows here. Okay, So this is how we can write. So let's make more transformation on this file, and we will see this part in the next session. Thank you.